Got the shit in there.
From the 757 to the 713, where you know we stay whipping through the streets. Some will call it swinging bang, some will call it slow ride. I just call it cruising to the beat.
It's the Cruising Podcast.
Cruising to the beat.
Da, 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 da. It's the Cruising Podcast.
Cruising to the
Da, 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 da.
Yo! Welcome back to another edition of the Cruising Podcast. I'm your host, Andrew Cruz, and today is Monday, September 9th. Happy Football Day. Yeah! We're back. You know what I'm saying? We're back. Wanted to talk about the Eagles last week, but I didn't want to put anything out there. Very happy with the win. Some things we need to clean up. You know what I mean? We're here. You know, we're going to clean some things up, but, you know, but this episode today, we're talking about, only thing I'm really going to be covering is the NFL, pretty much how the season's going to end, who's going to be at the top, who's going to be at the bottom, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So that's what we're doing pretty much all day. So here we go. Where you can find the Cruising Podcast is on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Patreon, YouTube, and anywhere you can find podcast needs. That's where you can find the Cruising Podcast. Also, where you find the latest updates of the show is on Instagram at Cruising Podcast, also on Twitter at Nicetown Finest. Oh my goodness gracious, great balls of fire. And if you're just listening to the intro for the first time, that is my good friend Gilla Camellia. Whenever he comes on the show, I will sing him that song. I don't care. But that's one of my great friends, Gilla713. If you go on Instagram, right now he has a single about to come out, so you guys might want to go check that out. The link is inside of his bio on the Instagram if you guys go, and also I'll probably blast out the link the closer we get to the single date. I'm hoping they hear from his EP very soon, but if you guys go to Bandcamp, all of his albums are up there right now. Just putting it out there. But also you probably hear the soulful voice of Nicole Quinn, aka Songbird ATX on Instagram. You guys gotta need to go check her out too. She does live performances in the Austin area. If you guys go check it out, she has a wonderful voice. She did an amazing job. I can't be more thankful to have friends and people around that really have supported and helped out the podcast a lot. You guys don't understand. You guys don't understand what your support does for your boy. And you are awesome. Appreciate y'all. Really, we've been on a mental health focus lately, so that's pretty good. Mental health and, you know, talking about anime, video games. Y'all already know we talk about everything on here. But today is the jock version of the Nerd Jock. Oh my goodness. I don't think I've done anything sports-wise in a minute, except for the Patreon episode. If you guys go to the Patreon, I'm just letting you know. Go to the Patreon, which is only $3. You can hear about something like mostly why LeBron is seen as a villain. Why is LeBron seen as a villain? You go to the Patreon. I'll have the website or whatever, the link in the descriptions down there, and go check it out. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you will not be upset. And Patreon users got to see my little standings that I had beforehand in my little handy dandy notebook. My notebook. Yes, I love this book. I don't know why. I've been writing them down a lot more. I think I'm gonna start journaling. I might get another one of these. I have to go to the Houston Toy Museum to get another one of these. I might journal on these bad boys. Ideas. We're just doing ideas here. But I did write down my standings and everything like that. So you guys have to bear with me a little bit, because if your favorite team is at the bottom of any of these lists, that's your fault for being a fan of that team. And if you're mad at me for telling the truth, you can truthfully go eat a dick. So I really don't care. You know what I mean? Just letting it be known. This is a advisory. If you have a problem with any of my picks, you can go and start your own YouTube channel or your own podcast, and you can make your own damn picks. So just letting it be known, if there is a problem with these, there is a thing called GoLiganut.com, and this won't be. Hold on, did I put the Lions on there? Okay, cool. And then yeah, just letting it be known. So yeah, hopefully you enjoy these picks. If I'm really trying to stir up controversy, I actually tell you the truth, I am trying to stir up controversy. So if you want to be part of the controversy, please let it be known. You know what I'm saying? I don't like your picks. You don't like my team. No, your team just sucks, and I just want to let it be known that your team sucks all the ass in the world. I just wanted it to be known. I'm not talking about any specific team, but I mean, if you are at the bottom of any of these lists here, clearly, might be time to pack it up early. Not just like I'm joking, but seriously though, if you guys, hopefully you guys like the list. That hopefully it sounds like kind of like an expert a little bit. I'm not the biggest expert, but I'm an expert. I ain't gonna lie, I'm a journalist. I mean, I'm a journalist, part of media now. So just putting it out there. Okay, we're gonna start. All right, we're gonna start with the AFC East. Yes, the AFC East. We are starting with. Okay, this is prior to week 1. I wrote these down, and I know I'm late. So if you are mad that I'm doing this late, once again, there is a place where you can go make your own list, and then also go eat something that's skin flavored. Okay, continuing on. All right, AFC East. Here's who I had winning. This is crazy. I know it sounds crazy, but I have the Jets, Dolphins, Bills, and then the Pats. I might have made a mistake, and that's cool. I don't know why I made the mistake. I think the Jets defense is a lot better. And if you guys watch the Monday night game tonight, I think the Jets defense is a lot better than what it showed tonight. I think just the 49ers just have a great offensive line. I think most teams do not have that type of offensive line to kind of stop the Jets from having a party in their backfields. And then you also have Sauce Gardner as a shutdown corner. I mean, just that it helps a lot. And then you have Aaron Rodgers on the other side commanding the offense. He's still I'm not gonna lie to you, tonight he did look a little rusty, but I think that Miami's explosive offense is cute and all, but I just don't. Their defense has never been anything to be scared of. Like, you will have to match point for point with Miami. Like, I would watch I just don't see it. And then I got the Bills third, mostly because of everybody they lost. They lost way too many weapons. They lost too many players, to tell you the truth, to kind of trying to I don't know, to try to Fuddruckers. Hold on. There we go. To really help Josh Allen out. I really think Josh Allen is an overrated quarterback, if I'm being completely fucking honest. And then the New England Patriots, I mean, let's just be real. You know what I'm saying? Gerard Mayo got a win. I mean, first game of the season, but I really don't. In the rest of the AFC East, I think they're the worst team in the AFC East. I'm not saying that they're well, I'm saying they're a bad team. I think that you're playing with. I mean, Jacoby Brissett can really be a really good bridge quarterback to Drake May, but I think overall they don't have enough talented players like the Dolphins and like the Jets. I think the Jets and Dolphins are really going to be the class of the East this year, and I think the Bills, if they could put it together, they could be fighting for a wild card spot, like that last wild card spot. That's all I can really say. Okay, next. I'm going to hold off on that one first, but we're going to talk about the AFC North. The North. Now, I know they lost the first game of the season, but who I got winning the North is the Ravens. Okay? I know. You guys are like, what? The Ravens? Ooh, the Ravens. Yeah, the Ravens were the only team to lose in the AFC North last week. What? But they played against the defending champs, the Kansas City Chiefs, in a really, really good game. Literally, they were toes away from winning the game. So the team, I just think above all, they're better than everyone else. It's just, I don't know. I just think that they're just, that addition of Derrick Henry, they have a pretty good defense that can hold off. You have Lamar Jackson. I like Zay Flowers. Zay Flowers is a problem. I like that guy. Not in in a male situation. I'm just like him as a football player. But I think that he's a really difference maker on that team, man. He take the top off the team and take the top off. And then you also got that's just a lot of things sounding really weird. I'm sorry. Rashad Bateman also, I think he's gonna have a pretty good year. And then of course you got Mark Andrews. Like you still have Marlon Humphreys, you still got some killers on that defensive line. Like the team is actually very well built. So I think that with the Ravens, they will win the NFC AFC North mostly because the Browns I have number 2. Mostly because of their defense. They didn't show out against the Dallas Cowboys this week, I know, but mostly because their defense is going to keep them in the game in most places. I mean, the Cowboys just offense is very well put together, but overall, I think that their defense is so much better, especially better than the Bengals. Um, I would definitely say that the Browns, and then you have Deshaun Watson. I know he had a bad first game. Gotta remember, I think everybody keeps forgetting that some of these quarterbacks are coming from season-ending injuries that happened in like week 8 last year, or like I don't think he played. I think he's only played 3 games for the Browns. You have to understand that rust is real. Rust is very, very, very real. And you can see it in a lot of these quarterbacks that are coming back from major injuries. You know what I mean? And it happens. I think that it was just one of those, like the Cowboys have a really good defense, and also that the Browns offensive line is pretty much a Kleenex. Like they just rip so easily. You know what I mean? Like that's literally what they are. They're just a fucking damn tissue paper that can't protect their quarterback that's getting paid almost, too much. You know what I mean? Apparently to some people. I still think Deshaun's got it. I think a lot of people are hating on Deshaun, but he's always been one of my favorite quarterbacks. I ain't gonna lie to you. So I think that he still has the talent. There's too much talent on that team, especially on the offensive side. Also, remember, Nick Chubb is still not back, and you're rolling with Jerome Ford. You also still have Amari Cooper, who's a fucking monster. You also have Jerry Jeudy, who has some of the best route running I've ever seen in my life, and footwork. His footwork is disgusting. I like Jerry Jeudy. Okay, sorry, I've been stayed on the Browns for too long. I should have just kept going. Bengals, and then I also have the Steelers. Bengals, of course, they got enough weapons. Can they stay healthy? Is Jamar Chase going to be playing at the best of his abilities, waiting on that contract? Here's my problem. His contract is weird because he still has 2 years left. And is Joe Burrow going to stay healthy? Is their defense going to hold up? Them losing Joe Mixon, was that a good idea to lose Joe Mixon? I think letting go of Joe Mixon might be the worst mistake they could have made. But I do like Mike Gesicki as their tight end. The when the Bengals are actually really good is when they had like a Tyler Eifert type tight end. And Gesicki, that dude is what? I think he's like 6'7". And so you got a guy that can go win those jump balls at the end zone. I mean in the red zone. I mean, well, on the goal line. And I think just the team is just offensively, once again, Burrow's coming back from an injury. Like this, I'm telling you, this is going to be this is where people need to understand, like, that rust is real. And then, like I said, Burrow's coming back from an injury where he missed pretty much the rest of the season last year. Once again, rust. And then also, Jamar Chase didn't practice all of the preseason. So, you got to work yourself back in, and they're lucky that it's a 17 week, season, because they got a lot of shit going on, and T Higgins can stay healthy. That'll be clutch. Okay. Steelers are good. Steelers are going to be, I just think that the rest of the AFC North is actually pretty good. There are good teams in the AFC North. The problem is that the Steelers are in flux with their quarterback. You don't know who is going to be from week to week right now because they just won their first game with Justin Fields as the quarterback. And I truly think people are forgetting that Justin Fields is not a bad quarterback. The problem is that he played in Chicago. I'm sorry, my fault. Sorry, my bad. But the problem is that I don't think he's used right. Like, his strengths is outside of the pocket. I'm moving the pocket almost 70% of the time. Dude is moving in the pocket. And then he's also should be making life easier for Najee Harris. Russ missing that first game is big. That's a big, big thing. But I do still put the Steelers at the bottom. I think that they're going to win a few games, mostly because of their defense. TJ Watt is a game wrecker. That's just all I'm going to say. Sorry. They talk about Aaron Donald being one of the greatest defensive players of all time, but it's like y'all forget TJ Watt was also pretty nasty, and also JJ. It's crazy that like that family's just disgusting. Sorry. Sorry, y'all. I got my allergies are kicking my ass. But like I said Ravens, Browns, Bengals, Steelers. That's how I think that this division is going to end, even though the Ravens lost their first game, is what it is. Okay, we're going to the AFC West. The West. Yeah, boy. No, we're not. We're going to AFC South. My bad. We're going to go to the AFC South. There's a reason why I'm doing the AFC West last. But it's probably very obvious why I'm doing the AFC West last, but just in case. AFC South. I got the surprise of the Texans last year. Surprise team. CJ Stroud. I thought he was going to be a pretty good quarterback. And then they think he was going to be this good, this quick. And he literally picked up where he left off last year. And you added so many different weapons that he needs. So you got to understand, Nico Collins was number one option last year. Now he's number two with Stephon Diggs. That's a pretty disgusting number two option is Nico Collins. Let's be real. They also got a running back that they can really, really lean on at some points, which is Joe Mixon. This is what makes this team a lot more dangerous because they can run downhill on you. And then you also got Damian Pierce who can just outrun everyone. And then you have Stephon Diggs who does all the dirt, who is a number one wide receiver who does all the dirty work. He does dirty work. This is how dangerous he is. And then you also have a really good defense. The reason why they have a really good defense is because DeMeco Ryans is one of the best defensive coordinators to ever. I'm sorry, not ever, but he was one of the best defensive coordinators in the past 10 years. And he's the head coach of this team. And that defense is taking on the identity of what the 49ers were doing when they were under him. So this team is very dangerous for the playoffs. Like very, very dangerous. With CJ Stroud with CJ Stroud really slinging it. Like this team is dangerous. I don't know how many times I'm going to say it. Okay. My number two is the Colts. For obvious reasons, I think that Anthony Richardson is just a game changer. Even though they did lose to they played the Texans in the first week. If he stays healthy throughout the whole season, which is crazy because he's the only quarterback that really didn't look that rusty. It's crazy because a lot of these teams I'm talking about, their quarterbacks were out for the rest of the season last year. There were so many injuries last year in the quarterback position that it's crazy because I'm going through the AFC right now. Let's see. The Jets, Pats didn't really have a quarterback. The Bengals, the Browns, the Steelers were kind of just in flux with their quarterback situation. The Colts, of course, Anthony Richardson messed his shoulder up. The Titans, Tannehill was in and out all year. You still have Will Levis as the quarterback. As the rookie quarterback, of course. I think that's it for that one. Yeah. We'll continue on. But I think the Colts overall team is really good. Shane Steichen knows how to use a running quarterback very well. So Anthony Richardson is in the perfect situation. I love Shane Steichen. He knows how to run that offense. He knows how to use the quarterback to their strength, which is what he did with Jalen Hurts, of course. So it's just that, he's got to get reacclimated to the game. Like, people won't understand. Anthony Richardson, before this week one game, has only started 17 games since high school. 17 football games he has started since high school. Yes. Yeah, you heard me right. He's only started 17 of them. And we talk about Trey Lance, and Trey Lance pretty much was going, I think he only started like 5. You know what I'm saying? So we're here talking about a guy that played his 18th game and had 2 50-yard bombs. And one of them had air yardage of like 57 yards. Like, bro has a hell of an arm. He has and he runs, and he looks healthier. and he has the charisma. I just hope they learn how to slide or just not take as much damage, whatever. But I think the Colts will be putting in a lot of work to put the. I think the Texans are the class of this or class of this division, but the Colts are not too far behind. They just need a couple more weapons. They still got Michael Pittman, who's a beast, and they also still have Jonathan Taylor, who's also a monster. So there's a couple throws that Anthony Richardson missed also in that game. Of course, you're going to have a few of them, but also, okay, lastly, we got the Jags and the Titans. Jags, I just don't see it. I don't know. I think that they're going to fight for a wild card position. That's about it. I just they can be scary if Trevor Lawrence actually puts it together, but I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see this team being. I just see them as a third team in the AFC. I mean, the AFC South. I don't say all. And then the Titans just is the Titans. Let's just be real. Who the Titans really got? No, I'm joking. They have DeAndre Hopkins. They have Will Levis as the quarterback, which once again, I wrote this before week one. I don't believe in Will Levis. I don't know why people do. I just don't. He gives me Kevin Cobb feelings because I think he had a couple really good games when he first came out, and then like it's just like Kevin Cobb was literally like I don't know. He faked out all of Philadelphia. Just putting it out there. All right, so the AFC South is Titans, Colts, Jags, Titans. I mean, no, I'm sorry. Texans, Colts, Jags, Titans. My bad. Okay? Shit happens. Okay? Then my mind is out of there right now. So, next, we are doing the AFC West, the home of the defending back to back Super Bowl champions and the winner of this division. Literally, let's be real. Who is better than the Chiefs in this division? I'll wait. Who's better? Who's actually going to give them a challenge in this division? I literally see them going 6-0 in this division easily. I mean easily. I know there's going to be rivalry games, and we need to be like, oh, it's going to be rivalry. No, fuck that. None of these teams are even close to Kansas City Chiefs. They're going to win this division comfortably. Okay, comfortable. They might even get the first seed just because they won all 6 of those games. They're like 6 free squares for them. So I know it sounds bad, but like you went and gave Pat Mahomes one of the fastest wide receivers to ever join the NFL. You still have Kelsey. You still have Rashid Rice, who's probably not going to get suspended. You still have Isaiah Pacheco. And then on the other side of the ball, you still have Trent McDuffie and Chris Jones. You have some monsters on the other end of that team. So I really don't see them losing any game inside of the AFC West. The team's just that good. And then you gave Mahomes more weapons. So it's just like, well, how do we beat these guys? You can't. It's just not going to happen. The Chargers might come close. I'm going to say not even come close. I think Chargers number 2. Chargers are, you know what I mean? You have Jim Harbaugh who knows how to run damn ball. That's what he's going to do. J.K. Dobbins, like I said, went off in week 1. You know, you got the guy that you got a top flight left tackle. I think that this team is very well built for a good run, maybe to try to keep Pat Mahomes off the field. But once again, every team has kind of built their teams to kind of stop the Chiefs. But I don't think there's going to be a chance of them doing that. So the Chargers, number 2. The Raiders, the Las Vegas Raiders. Let's be real. I don't know why I put them the only reason why I put them number 3 is because the Broncos don't know who the fuck their quarterback's going to be. I mean, who their quarterback is, and they don't know how to use their quarterbacks. So, Bo Nix is the quarterback for the Broncos, and then we also got Gardner Minshew, who I'm not gonna lie to you, who he can win you some games, but he can also lose you some fucking games. Let's just say, being completely, believe me, we watched them with the Eagles. There were some games where Hurts got injured, and Gardner Minshew just looked fucking atrocious. Just be honest. So, yeah, you still got Devontae Adams, who's going to get double covered probably all the time. You still have Max Crosby on the other side. I don't see the Raiders. The Raiders are not going to make the playoffs. They're going to be a top 10 pick. Let's just be real. They're going to be looking at quarterback. The Broncos, same thing. If I'm being honest, the Broncos might have the number one pick this year. Maybe even the pay. It's between them and the Patriots for me. I know it sounds crazy, but I think that's going to be between them and the Patriots. The only reason why I didn't go through the NFC West, AFC West in such like in really big order is because there's really no fucking argument of who's going to win this shit. I'm just like just it's going to be the Chiefs. Like there's no other team that's close. Okay, you're welcome. That's the AFC. Also, who I have representing the AFC for the Super Bowl will be coming up a little bit later. I got you guys. It's going to be coming up very late. Y'all thought you was going to get the what? Huh? Y'all thought you was getting dessert before dinner? Smoking on. Okay, all right. So we're going to start with the NFC West. This was also an easy pick, which is the San Francisco 49ers. Who can y'all be honest? They're going to win 6 games. They're going to go 6-0 in that division. Okay, y'all think the Cardinals are going to beat the 49ers? Really? Okay. Well, I don't know. I don't know what world you guys are living in. That's not going to happen. I have the Cardinals going number 2 though. I also have the Rams going number 3, mostly because it's the Rams, and they literally lost. The only people that are holding that team together is Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp. And then you still have Matthew Stafford, who can still sling it, but Matthew Stafford also makes a lot of dumb fucking decisions. And then you still have Kyron Williams, who's not bad, but their defense is fucking trash. I mean, it's just, we're being honest, their defense is not good, and the 49ers have too many weapons. Purdy literally just can game manage the whole shit, and they win literally 6 out of 6 games in the NFC West. If somehow they lose, it's because they're fucking trash. Okay, that's just how I'm saying. The Rams, number 3, and I also have the Seahawks last, just because I don't know. I like the Geno. Geno's a great quarterback. You also you still have DK Metcalf. You still have Tyler Lockett. You still have Kenneth Walker, who's a beast. Their defense isn't too bad. You still have Tariq Woolen. You know they're not a bad team, but I just don't see them being at the top echelon of the AFC West. I think the Cardinals might put it together at some point. They still, even though they did lose their game this week, but they can still put together very good offensive games. And the team is very dangerous. Okay. So the 49ers won the West fucking easily. NFC North. The North. We're going to the NFC North. Detroit Lions. I'm saying Detroit because they can keep Jordan Love off the field. I'm saying Detroit because even if Jordan Love is on the field, that defense is rock solid. That's a very good defense that Detroit is coming in with. Also, like I said, they got Montgomery. I think their team is just built to be tough as hell on you, to lean on you with their grit, lean on you with just hard playing. I think they all just play very well together. And they all really exemplify the identity of their coach. It's just Dan Campbell has put that team together in such a beautiful way. And Jared Goff has definitely had his second coming, which is Jared Goff looks like he can be a problem. So I'm definitely going to say I say it might come down to the last week between them and the Packers. Might. Packers number 2 for sure. Jordan Love looked fucking phenomenal. I made this before the injury. I hope he gets better. I hope he gets better. He looked really good. I mean, well, he didn't. I mean, I don't think anyone looked good in that Brazil game. I'm like not good, but like just that Brazil game was weird. But I really don't see too many teams stopping them in the NFC North. I mean, I know I keep saying the NFC North. I don't know their schedules and shit like that, but I just don't. The Packers look like a really good team. They're dangerous. They're still a dangerous team. Like their offense is really well put together. You know, you have Jaden Reed, you have Christian Watson, who's actually playing very healthy now. You know, you got some really good weapons there. You also have Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs is a monster. So they have a chance. Their defense isn't too bad either. I think the team is very well built. I just don't see them beating Detroit. I think Detroit might fuck around and go 2-0 on them. I got the Bears and the Vikings as my last two for the NFC North. NFC North. NFC North. Okay, there we go. The Bears have a number one pick in the quarterback, which is Caleb Williams. You know what I mean? They're going to go through a rookie. He might go through a rookie wall at some point in life. The game is a little bit quicker here in the pros. Yes, they put a lot of weapons around them. They got DJ Moore. They got Keenan Allen. You know, you also got DeAndre Swift, which I just don't understand why no team uses DeAndre Swift correctly. I just don't fucking understand that shit ever. Their defense is fucking trash, though. Let's completely be honest with each other. Their defense is ass. The only saving grace for them is Jalen Johnson. Jalen Johnson. That's literally the only saving grace for that defense. So other than that, they're fucking trash. They won't be able to stop a fucking cold. But they might not be able to be stopped. So this is you know what I mean? It is a high flying offense, which could be dangerous. Also, the Vikings. It's the Vikings. Let's look at the Vikings real quick. Oh, okay. So their first round or second round quarterback is out for the season. You have Sam Darnold, who could be good. I mean, he's still a number 2 pick in the draft. I mean, he still was a number 2 pick at some point in life. So we can give them a little bit of a chance, but let's be real. They're going to be trash. Okay. They're going to be trash. I mean, their defense is ass. Their only saving grace is Justin Jefferson. And also they have Aaron Jones, who isn't too bad. But I think Sam might keep them afloat, but I just don't think there's enough time in the day. I just don't think that they have enough talent. The team is just not good enough to beat them. So, like I said, it's going to be the Lions, Packers, Bears, Vikings. That's my choices. All right. NFC South. Here's where it gets weird. Y'all ready to get weird? I'm ready to get weird. Let's get weird with it. Now, I did this before week 1, which was possibly a fuck up, but we're going to talk about it anyway. NFC South. I got the Falcons winning the NFC South. Here's why. Their defense is pretty dangerous. You put Matthew Judon on that team. You have Jesse Bates. I think they also got Justin Simmons, who's also who also is a monster. And then, you know, they can get after the quarterback with that team. With just you know what I mean, and they got really good coverage in the back. The problem is that you have Kirk Cousins. And Kirk Cousins is coming back from that Achilles injury, which is a tough injury to come back from. Very tough injury to come back from. They also have Drake London, who isn't a bad player. He's just never had the quarterback to get him the fucking ball. Next, you have Bijan Robinson. Bijan Robinson's a beast. Let's just be real, all-around monster. The only reason why I'm saying the Falcons are going to win the South is because the rest of the teams in the NFC South fucking bad. And I don't think anybody has won the NFC South 2 years in a row. I think the Bucs won last year, and so we're at a point where the Bucs I don't think aren't really that good. I mean, they got their Baker looked good in week 1. I just don't think that team is, you know what I mean, I just don't see it out of that team. I think that the Falcons are the best built team in the NFC South myself, and I think Kirk Cousins will figure it out, especially with all the weapons that he has. And also Kyle Pitts. Don't forget, they do have Kyle Pitts on that team, who is also a monster. And then, and then the rest of the NFC South is just atrocious. Let's just be real. We have the New Orleans Saints, who, like almost every year that I've started this podcast, almost every year I start with the New Orleans Saints possibly getting to the Super Bowl. Don't know why. I don't know why I kept doing that, but that trend has ended. Derek Carr, love Derek Carr. I'm a big fan of Derek Carr. I think that the New Orleans Saints might mess around and get into the playoffs as a wild card team. I know, sounds crazy. Bucks can make it there too. Mostly because all of them are going to run a complete and utter train on the Carolina Panthers. That's just a free square for all those teams. It's just be real. If we're being honest, that's just a free square. That team is not built at all well. Bryce Young does not look like a number one quarterback at all. Like, if we're being honest, like, let's be honest, they might be fighting for the number one pick too. They're definitely gonna have a top 5 pick again this year. Or damn, I guess they traded all of it to get Bryce Young. So it's a bad fucking decision. They might be playing for that, top 5. I don't know if they traded that this year's pick, but hopefully they didn't because they're gonna need it. I don't see it. I just don't see it. They just lost one of their best defensive players, but it didn't matter. I just don't see jack from this team being good. I just don't. So I'm saying Falcons, Bucks, Saints, Panthers from the NFC South. If you're hating on these picks, once again, go eat a dick. There we go. Okay, cool. All right. So NFC East. The only reason why I'm doing the NFC East because my favorite team is in the NFC East, and that's why I say the best fucking last. And I think the NFC East, it's only a 2-horse race there. Let's just be honest. If we're all going to be cool with each other, we're going to look at each other. Okay, cool. There's only a 2-horse race in the NFC East. Okay, it's the Eagles and the Cowboys. Okay, so I'm going to start from the bottom. Then we're going to go work our way up. Okay, so I'm saying the last team on this is the Giants. The Giants are horrific. They might also be fighting for a top 5 spot on the draft board. Daniel Jones is not it. Okay, they got Malik Neighbors, who I think is a dog. That was my favorite wide receiver coming out of the draft. I don't know why the Giants always get my favorite wide receiver out of the drafts, but it's just like ultra favorite wide receivers. And from LSU, aka Odell Beckham Jr. I wanted Odell to be an Eagle so fucking bad. Damn it. Okay, continuing on. I think the Giants are just poorly built, and just we need to figure that. They need to figure out quick. Okay. The Commanders. Commanders might fuck around and make the playoffs. They might fuck around and make the playoffs. I'm saying the only reason why I'm saying the NFC East is a 2-horse race is because how good the Cowboys and the Eagles are built. And the Commanders have a really good chance at being very dangerous. Once again, they still have one of the better defensive lines in the game. And then you have Jalen Daniels probably slinging it a little bit. He's gonna figure it out. He's gonna be good. I think out of the draft this year, he might mess around and win Offensive Player of the Year. He might fuck around and do that. But they are gonna have these rookie lulls. They are gonna have some lulls in the season. But I think that this team is very dangerous and they can make the playoffs if they go on a nice little run. Like in the middle of the season, they might fuck around and go off. Like once again, they're playing the last place schedule in the NFC East, so it could be a problem. Just putting it out there. So next we have the number 2 team. Now, if you've looked at the NFC East is just like the NFC South. No team has won the division 2 years in a row in a very, very long time. And it's not going to happen this year. I'm just putting it out. It's just not. I have the Cowboys number 2. Only reason why I have the Cowboys number 2 is because they lost some weapons on that team. Now, CeeDee's a beast. CeeDee's a monster. Let's not get it twisted. Isn't Bland out for the rest I think Bland was out for the rest of the season on the other side of the ball. You still got, Trayvon Diggs. He's still a ball hawk to like no other. He's a really good cornerback. They just paid Dak. Micah is still a game wrecker. Let's just be real for a second. Micah's just completely a game wrecker. I think that they need to figure out if they're going to use Dalvin Cook or not. To me, I would use Dalvin Cook behind that fucking offensive line and let him just roll and go back to what made Dallas a great team. I know this burns my soul to say, but what made them a great team was they were a downhill running team. It just didn't matter. They were going to run behind that offensive line, and they weren't going to let Dak fuck it up, pretty much. But Dak is still a really good quarterback. There's a reason why he's getting paid the highest money in the league right now because the dude's not bad. He's not a bad quarterback. He just, just run into bad situations in the playoffs. But I'm saying they're number 2 mostly because they're playing a number 1 schedule in the NFC East. I mean, from the NFC East. And that's a tough fucking schedule. And I don't know. I think their defense may hold up. Who's on the other side of Diggs is the biggest question right now. But like I said, I'm not saying this because I'm an Eagles fan. I would y'all don't understand how much realist I am as an Eagles fan. Once again, I told you guys I used to pick the Saints to get to the fucking Super Bowl. Okay, they're not even in the. You know what I mean? So I'm just letting it be known that this is no way biased. I know you guys are probably like, man, this motherfucker biased, and why you gotta explain it, Andrew, if you're not biased? Because I need to explain it because somebody will say, oh my gosh, you're an Eagles fan. That's why no, I'm saying it because they are the best built team in the NFC. In the NFC. I'll say just NFC East. The reason why is that if Jalen Hurts can stop throwing stupid fucking passes, they will be all right. And also, if him and Cam Jurgens can get their snaps down and everything like that, they gonna be alright. And if they just learn that, oh, we have Saquon Barkley, let's run him like they would like they would be running Christian McCaffrey. I don't know, because we were looking at Christian McCaffrey at one point. Use him pretty much as Christian McCaffrey. Okay, that's good. You have AJ Brown, you have Devontae Smith, and you also have Jahan Dotson as a third fucking option. And then, actually, third option is a wideout. Really, your third option is Dallas Goedert. Look at the weapons. And then you have one of the best offensive lines in the motherfucking league. Woo! Okay, next, defensive line. Now, lost a couple weapons, which is Hassan Reddick and Fletcher Cox. Lost those two. Big losses. But I like Bryce Huff. He's going to be beast. I think that field was ass. I think if they played on a better field, maybe the defense can get off a little bit better. I think on both sides too, from the Packers instance. But I think our secondary is solidified. I like the Quentin Mitchell pickup. Quentin Mitchell is going to be a fucking dog in the future. I like that he's probably going to be the slot corner, and then you also got Isaiah Rodgers, who missed last game also. So there was a lot of missing pieces last game. Also, Devin White, who is like a forgotten signing, is part of the Eagles, and Nakobe Dean played a really good game. But who had the standout game from Week 1 was Zach Bond, which no one saw fucking coming. So, and then like I said, you have Jalen Carter, you have Jordan Davis. Yeah, Jordan Davis. You got Josh Sweat. You got they can get after the quarterback. Really, I think that the Eagles built their team to keep Dak off the field. For like, I know it sounds crazy, but to keep them off the field and also to slow down the rush of Micah Parsons. I know this sounds crazy, and also they're built to keep Pat off the field. Also, every team I think built their squad to try to keep the Chiefs off the field this year, and they really need to keep the Chiefs off the field this year because they are fucking dangerous. But yes, I have the Eagles win the NFC East, so this is how the NFC East is going to go. Eagles, Cowboys, Commanders, Giants. It's going to come down to the last week like it did last year. It's really a toss-up between those two, but I think it's going to come up to, like I said, it's definitely going to be I wouldn't even say a coin flip. It's just literally, it's going to come down to the last week of the season. Problem is, the Eagles playing Giants at the end of the season, and I think the Cowboys are playing the Commanders. I think I gotta rewatch it. I mean, relook at it. No, we're not playing the Giants at the end of the season. We're playing out of the division team. I don't fucking know. I don't remember anymore. Fuck the schedules. I'm just saying that's what we're going with. Okay. Now, y'all want to hear the Super Bowl picks? I know you guys want to, so here it is. You guys ready? Okay, cool. So what's going to happen in the first round of the play? Okay, my bad. I know you guys are like, what the fuck? What? Hold on. Wait. My Super Bowl pick is this. I don't want to jinx it. I just don't want to jinx it. But my Super Bowl pick is this. Eagles versus Houston Texans. It's going to be a rematch of the Phillies versus the Astros World Series. This time we're going to beat the shit out of Houston. But I think that's what I'm pushing towards. If there's a big if, and that's if Jalen Hurts can get back to playing that MVP football that he had 2 years ago, that shit will be fucking amazing. He got too many weapons to not have that. He got too many weapons. I think that why I'm saying Houston is because Houston built their team literally to beat the Chiefs. That's their biggest thing that they built that team around. Now, why I'm saying this because, like I said, the pickup of Joe Mixon, the pickup of Stephon Diggs, y'all are sleeping on that pickup because Stephon Diggs does the dirty work. That he does all the dirty work that most number one wideouts don't fucking do. And then you also have the guys that can take the top off the team, which is Tank Dell and then also Nico Collins. So the team is built to try to keep Pat off the field. And also, if you have to score with them, you also can score with them. It's kind of crazy. But I think their defense is just a little bit scheme-wise. I think scheme-wise, Houston's defense is just a little bit better. Just a little bit. But the reason why I'm saying the Eagles, because I'm a fucking Eagles fan. Of course. Why would I choose any other team? No, I'm joking. I don't see anybody really. I don't see if we get into a playoff situation. You picked up Saquon Barkley. You got one of the top offensive lines in the game. If I'm going to have Saquon, he's really his biggest use is going to be born during the playoffs. Like, and to also shut down games. He's really the closer of the team. Like, you have big wide receiver in AJ Brown. You have a guy that can do, like I said, another pretty much 1A, 1B wide receiving core, which is Devontae Smith. Who's going to really stop them? It's like you might have to put 40 up on this team to try to even come close at some points. Kellen Moore is running this team very well too, by the way. As long as it's Kellen Moore calling the offensive plays and Nick Sirianni keeps his fucking hands clean, that's all we need. That's all they need. All they need. That's all they need. I'm sorry, not we. That's all they need. Okay, just putting it out there. Okay, I know you guys are like, what? No, fuck that. We're saying the Eagles. Okay, we're going to say the Eagles, and that's when we keep it at. That's all I can say. I mean, that's what I got. Who would they beat in the championship game, you may ask? Probably 49ers. 49ers have to come to Philly again. That's probably what I'm thinking. Actually, Philly might have to go to 49ers. I think the 49ers might be the number one seed in the NFC East. That's a tough fucking team, dog. That's a really, really tough team. Especially with the way they look without McCaffrey. It's fucking scary against a very good defense. So, but like I said, I think Houston just has that team, man. I think they have that team that can match wits with the Chiefs because they're going to be the number 2 seed in the AFC. I think both number 2 seeds make it to the Super Bowl. Yeah, I said that shit. You're welcome. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Hopefully it was a little bit more informative as a little bit. But I was going to go down like every team, but this is almost an hour. And so I don't want to take too much of you guys' time. Oh, well, I mean, I'm going to take up all you guys' time. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? If you got a problem with it, come see me, bitch. No, I'm playing. But if you are part of the Patreon, you already got a picture of this, of what I already had, except for my Super Bowl pick. That was a secret. That secret was a Super Bowl pick. And yes, I said the Eagles were going to beat the ever-living shit out of the Texans because that's what happened to the Phillies. The Phillies should beat the Astros, but shit happens. So that's just a revenge for the Phillies. Remember, that's for the Phillies. Yeah. Oh, okay, sorry, my bad. All right, let me stop. But with that, that is the episode for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. This is really what I did. This is my bread and butter. I love sports. Oh my gosh. Oh man, give me all of it. But where you can find the Cruising Podcast is on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Patreon, YouTube, and anywhere you can find your podcast needs. That's where you can find the Cruising Podcast. Also, where you can find latest updates to the show is on Instagram at Cruising Podcast, also on Twitter at Nexttown Finance. I am surprised there was no real fuck ups today. Thank you. So, with that, I would like to say I love all of you. Please be good to yourselves, be good to each other, and I will catch you guys a little later. If you got the Patreon, hey, there's going to be a Patreon episode probably tomorrow. We'll have a Patreon episode tomorrow. Don't know what the hell I'm going to be talking about, but we'll see. So we'll see. So with that, I like to say I love all you guys. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, and I'll catch you guys later. Deuces.
From the 757 to the 713, well, you know we stay whipping through the streets. Some will call it swinging bang, some will call it slow ride. I just call it cruising to the beat.
It's the Cruising Podcast.
Cruising to the beat.
Da, 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 da. It's the Cruising Podcast.
Cruising to the